We have some bizarre bugs to get into today. Let's get started. There is a duplicate twisted bug going around. Even though the dev team said that duplicate twisteds have been removed from Dandy's world, not only are players seeing duplicate twisteds on their floor, but they're also seeing duplicate twisteds on very low floors, which shouldn't be possible. This user said, is it normal? Yeah, double Louis plus triple twisteds. Let's take a closer look. So first of all, this player is on floor 1, and on floor 1 there is a maximum of 2 twisteds. But we can see 2 Louis, which should not be possible, duplicate twisteds, and it's on floor 1. But we can also see a twisted flutter on the right hand side, so that's 3 twisteds on floor 1. How's that even possible? This player is not the only player to report duplicate twisteds. This user said, so this is kind of weird, but I trust my friend. So they said they got double brusher somehow. I just wanted to let you know if that could be possible at all with this new twisted AI. So this user's friend has experienced a double brusher. What is going on? Our next bug is to do with twisted AI pathing. This bug is about twisteds instantly aggroing you after you've been hit, even when you're hiding behind an object. This bug is quite old, but it is still happening to players, and some players even believe that it's a normal behavior of twisteds. This user said, brusher aggroed on me when I was on the opposite side of the barricade. No way she should have been able to see me there. Let's take a look. So this user is playing Tegan. Let's see what happens. So brusher spots the Tegan. Tegan is nearly out of stamina. Brusher hits Tegan and Tegan is safe, and then Brusher instantly locks onto the Tegan even though the Tegan was behind the aisle, safe and sound. So what's going on? This bug is quite old, but I'm surprised it's still happening to players. I thought it was fixed by now. This user replied to the video saying, actually, yes she can. Then the user goes on to say, Pebble and Brusher have a high detection range, believe me. Brusher has seen me further away. There are some more with high ranges, but I don't remember. So this user believes that because Brusher has a high detection range, she's allowed to see through objects. That's not true, and that's misinformation. And another user said, Twisted still see you if you're in their detection range after getting hit, even if line of sight is broken. Every Twisted does this. Again, this is misinformation. So it seems like some players are used to Twisteds locking onto them after they've been hit, even though they're safe, and now they believe it's a normal behavior of Twisteds. So there's something definitely going on with the code that the dev team need to look at, because we've got some Dandy's World players that believe this behavior of Twisteds is normal, and it's not normal. Twisteds should not auto-lock onto you after they hit you, even though you're safe and sound. This is a bug. Our next problem is to do with Glisten after Glisten uses his active ability to teleport to a new location. This user said, so I don't think this is supposed to happen, but it did while I was playing Glisten. I was distracting Sprouts and then teleported to the one other person in the run who was on 1 heart, and the tentacle spawned where I teleported even though Sprouts was behind a wall or 2. So it looks like after Glisten teleported to another player, Twisted Sprouts spawned a tendril to that new location, and this user's wondering if that's normal. This user replied saying, when you TP as Glisten, Twisted takes some time to lose chase, and Twisted Sprout spawns the tendril at your current location. So yeah, so it seems like this might be a normal behavior of Twisted Sprout to spawn a tendril at your new location even though you've teleported far away, because I think Twisted Sprout's tendril animation takes a bit of time to activate. So maybe just before Glisten teleports, Twisted Sprout is getting the tendril ready, and by the time Glisten teleports, the tendril is in Glisten's new location. Our next bug is to do with 2 Twisteds hitting a tune at the same time. I have never seen anything like this before. Let's take a look at what happened. So this user said, both Twisteds hitting the same target and both takes a moment to pause. So I was playing like normal until I got cornered and got hit, but then I noticed both Twisteds paused, and if I remembered, only one hits you and then pauses while the other one continues chasing you and waits till the hit cooldown to hit you again. again. So this is true. Two Twisteds don't usually do an attack animation at the same time. One Twisted will hit you whilst the other Twisted will keep chasing you and then hit you after the cooldown has run out. Let's take a look at what happened to this user. As you can see, Twisted Boxton and Twisted GG both do their attack animation on the Scraps at the same time. As you can see, Scraps has a savory charm that became inactive, so Scraps stayed alive. Our next problem is to do with Twisteds not hitting tunes when they're supposed to. This user said, I don't know, but I have a bug, it's hitbox. Whenever Twisteds are near me or almost hit me, they will stop or something, and I've had these since yesterday, and I thought it's because of my ping until I checked it. I hope Quell and the team can fix these bugs. I don't like abusing them somehow because people would say I'm an exploiter. So it looks like this user is experiencing lag compensation. The dev team added this feature into Dandy's world. It's not a bug. It's called lag compensation, and King Mob explains what lag compensation is and what it does. Another user experienced a similar thing, and King Mob replied saying, that's due to server latency. We've made improvements to the Twisteds to be able to function in those scenarios where previously you would have been hit from a distance. So the lag compensation stops you from being hit from far away, and this is what lag compensation looks like. As you can see, Toodles is rubber banding backwards, unable to catch up to the Yatta. As you can see, Twisted Toodles should be attacking Twisted Yatta, but there is lag compensation stopping the Twisted Toodles from catching up to the Yatta. Yatta has no speed trinkets, Yatta is slow. Twisted Toodles should catch up to Yatta, but that's not happening. This is lag compensation, it's a feature, it's not bug abusing, and it's to help players basically play Dandy's World even when their latency or ping is high. Our next bug is to do with Twisted Dyle in the roleplay mode making weird noises. So this user said Twisted Dyle in roleplay mode makes a weird little noise. Let's see if we can hear this noise. It's hard to hear the noise. The noise sounds like water or waves. Other players have reported hearing a weird noise when playing as Dyle in the roleplay mode. This user also said, I don't know if this is a bug or not, but Twisted Dyle makes weird noises in RP mode. So if you do hear Twisted Dyle making weird noises in roleplay mode, know that you're not alone. Other players are experiencing the same thing. Hopefully the dev team can figure out what these noises are. Our next bug is to do with Twisted Shelly and Twisted Shelly's AI pathing. Usually the pathing of Twisted's bugging out isn't a new thing. However, ever since the dev team told us that Twisteds have had an overhaul, their pathing has been improved, their AI has been improved. Because of that news from the dev team, we shouldn't expect Twisteds to have bugged pathing. However, this user said Shelly can't choose a side. Let's take a look. So this user's playing Yatta and there's Twisted Shelly, and Twisted Shelly completely bugs out and she can't choose a side, as the user said. I wonder what happened there. So it looks like the pathing for Twisted still needs some improvements. Our next bug is to do with Toons and Twisteds running in place. This user has provided a video. Let's take a look. So this user is playing Aggro, and as you can see, Toons and Twisteds are running in place. This honestly looks like a lag issue, something to do with the internet connection being very slow, or maybe the Roblox servers are having connection issues. I don't think this has anything to do with Dandy's World. As you can see, a Twisted just appeared out of nowhere and attacked the Aggro. This is most likely a connection problem. Our next bug is to do with the Chili Penguin Blot skin. This user said, is this normal? Let's take a look. So they are extracting as Chili Penguin Blot, and as you can see, Blot top is literally dancing. It's completely glitched. That should not be happening. Another bug to do with Blot is Blot trail disappearing. This user said Blot trail is gone. It's like this on every floor. It randomly disappeared. Let's take a look. So Blot is supposed to have his ink trail, but it's not there. It looks like this player is on a mobile device. As you know, mobile devices have a lot of texture problems. It's not as stable as a PC or a console. So there's definitely some missing textures going on here. Our next bug is to do with Razzle and Dazzle being stuck under the floor, Toons being stuck under the floor haven't happened in a while, so this is quite surprising. This user said, I got stuck in the floor and couldn't move. I had to exit the game and start a new run. I just walked out of the elevator and then bam, into the ground. Let's take a look. So they are playing Razzle and Dazzle. As you can see, they are underneath the ground. I've seen this before in the past, but people reporting being stuck under the floor have died down for a bit, but it seems like players are starting to get stuck under the floor again. And we have another picture of them as Razzle and Dazzle under the floor, and it looks like they are on console. Maybe that has something to do with it. Our next bug is about Neapolitan Goob. This user said, Goob's arm is broken when extracting. Let's take a look. As you can see, Goob's left hand is completely glitching out whilst Goob is extracting. I have never seen anything like this before. I wonder if the Goob player actually saw this glitch as well. Maybe only the Blot player saw it. Our next bug is to do with Cosmo's berry roll skin. Players are unhappy that Cosmo's left hand on the skin still has not been fixed after all of this time. And here is a better angle. As you can see, the left hand is not even touching Cosmo's face. Our next bug is to do with Tisha. This user said, why Tisha's animation is like that. Let's take a look. As you can see, Tisha's feather duster stinging on the model, and that's not supposed to happen. Even when Tisha does her idle animation, the feather duster stays in her hand. I've seen this bug before a while ago, and it looks like it's still happening to players. Our next bug is to do with Toons being stuck in between objects and machines. That's still happening even after the dev team have said they are working on stopping this from happening. This user said, I got stuck. Let's take a look. As you can see, the Shelly is stuck between a bookcase and a machine. I can't believe this problem is still happening. The dev team really need to sort out the machine placements. Our next problem is to do with Cosmic Signal V skin. This user said, Cosmic Signal V has something black on her star. Let's take a look. As you can see on the right hand side, there's a black part on the white star. It looks like the black antenna is poking through the star. So hopefully the dev team can sort this minor issue out. Our next problem is to do with ping issues in Dandy's world. A lot of players have reported having very high ping. For example, this user talked about having a ping of 3000 plus, and everybody on their team also experienced high ping at the same time. They provided 3 pictures, and as you can see, the ping is at 938. That makes the game unplayable. And in this picture, the ping is at 3332. That is super high. And then the ping dropped down to 56. And everybody experienced the high ping at the same time. So it sounds like a server issue, like a Roblox server issue, if everybody's experiencing it at the same time. Our next bug is to do with frame drops after a certain floor. This user basically said after floor 40, their frame starts dropping and the game stutters. Let's take a look at their frames dropping after floor 40. So they're on floor 15. As you can see, the game stutters, it slows down, they lose frames, and this will make distracting a nightmare if you are losing frames and you can't see where your character's going. They mentioned it only happens after about floor 40 when they've been playing a long time, and it looks like they are playing on a console. They've mentioned that it only happens on Dandy's World, and they've also mentioned the frame drops after playing a long time happens to other people as well that they've spoken to. So something is definitely going on if frames are dropping after playing Dandy's World a long time. Our next problem is to do with game freezes in Dandy's World. This user said, I couldn't take a screenshot, but ever since the Goop optimization update came out, my game freezes every time I try to extract a machine on the floor above the 8th, without exception. I don't know if it's a problem with my device. So every time this user extracts a machine past floor 8, their game freezes. I think I've heard something like this before. It would make sense if they were on a mobile device, because mobile devices are quite unstable when it comes to gaming. It's best to play games, on a PC, but if you have to play on a mobile device, you have to know that there's going to be some texture problems, there's going to be some loading problems on mobiles, there's going to be some instability because the hardware on mobiles cards are not as powerful as PCs or consoles. Our next problem is to do with asset clipping. This user said the trays are clipping, and if we take a closer look, as you can see, the trays are clipping through the box. Hopefully the dev team can get that sorted. Our next bug is to do with machines disappearing completely. This user said, my friend and I were playing normally on the 20th floor and all the machines were completed except for one. The machine, it simply disappeared from the map. Did you look properly? Yes, we spent 30 minutes looking. I was sad about this bug because we were going to beat our record. So machines disappearing have been a talk for a while. Let's take a look at some pictures they provided. So it's the warehouse map. They are on floor 20 and there are 8 out of 9 machines completed. They said they spent 30 minutes looking for the last machine and it did not exist. The question is this happening to other players? And it is, because this user said, this happened to me too. I know every possible machine location on every map except Sprouts and Astros and still couldn't locate it. After 40 minutes, I gave up. It was a full 8-person public run and we had a V who also couldn't find it. I don't know what caused it though during Halloween to add. So they had a V on their team and they still couldn't find the last machine. Then that's definitely a bug. Something is going on behind the scenes and I hope the dev team can figure out what that is. Our next bug is to do with textures not loading properly on the new art map. This user said, the Mona Lisa Dandy painting just did this glitch. Thought I should report it. And as you can see, the Dandy Lisa painting that looks like this is supposed to be here, but instead we have some 2D pictures of toons and a color palette, so some behind the scenes textures are appearing. The same thing happened to this user on the art map. Let's take a look. And as you can see, the textures are completely messed up and it's on the art map again. Super weird. And this user also experienced weird textures on the art map. If we take a closer look, Twisted Shrimpo's texture UV is on the poster, super random. An older bug that seems to still be happening to players is the elevator door disappearing. This user said, is this normal? And if we take a closer look, this is quite an old bug where the elevator door disappears and it's just a concrete wall. It might just be device problems and maybe the dev team can't do anything about it. It looks like this user is on a mobile device, so it might be a device problem. And our last bug is to do with Poppy's hello sticker. This user said the sticker hello supposed to have an exclamation mark in it if not purchased yet. Basically, this user's friend found out that there's an exclamation mark missing in the hello text when purchasing the Hello Poppy sticker, because when you use the sticker, there is an exclamation mark.